with all due respect.
Hey, we're Josh Ortegan and Greg Gaines, and this is With All Due Respect, the show where we keep it real about health, fitness, and performance. From weight loss to sports development, we're covering the conversations that matter.
Follow us on Instagram at Phenom Fitness, PHNM Fitness, and visit www.phenomfit.com to check out our training programs, coaching, and gear built for real results. Let's get into it.
All right, remember when we first started doing these, we had like these whole things we were going to do when we opened up, and now we're just like, hit record.
Yeah. I mean, we've created our own intro, which is nice. So it'll just play before the episode, which is good for us, but I think it's just become more casual. It's a conversation versus like trying to put on a huge production.
Yeah, it's authentic.
Yeah.
There's nothing worse to me than unauthentic. I think
Hmm.
that's my, I think that's my life motto. There's nothing
Yeah.
worse to me than lack of authenticity from a human being. Just be you.
Hmm.
You are.
Hmm.
Right. Uh,
Totally.
well, today we are talking about, I guess, weight loss drugs.
Yeah. At least
And
the basics. I think it's something that we'll continue to see in our industry, whether it's weight loss drugs or I know like I've gotten into a couple conversations about like peptides with people. So I think we're going to continue to see these like extra boosters inside of our industry.
boosters,
Hmm.
the COVID booster. Uh,
Yeah. Yeah.
So I have a friend of mine. He's actually been on our show. He's doing sales repping now for a company, a compound pharmacy that creates peptides.
Hmm.
And he's been on our show, Donnie. And he's been doing a lot of education with the owners of these companies,
Hmm.
and then coming to me with with a lot of the stuff he's learning on, like when we talk about peptides like BPC 157, TB 500, there's Wolverine stacks, glow stacks, all these
Yeah.
peptides. And this is an area I'm not very familiar with. Um, but I have friends who, and Mike Wines has talked to some of our people about getting on BPC 157 and that it's helped them, right?
Hmm.
Um, and it's an evolving industry. And within that conversation are peptides of weight loss drugs, GLP ones, twos, threes. Um, he talked to me about the rising improvement of these medications. And I'll tell you, when it first came out, uh, and were really popular, I was really guarded against it. Mostly because I don't trust doctors in the pharmaceutical industry. I don't know. Call me
Sure.
crazy, but something about COVID made me skeptic about everybody.
I think that's a piece of it. I could also say that a piece of it is that we've been like such firm believers in doing what you can. So, like, as far as working out and nutrition and sleeping well and stress management. And I think that when there's something that comes in and at first it looked like it made it easier for people, it kind of looked like maybe it was a cheat for people. I think that that makes you very wary of something too.
I struggle with the word cheat, because we all take things and do things. Hormone replacement therapy uh, helps men with low testosterone get their body in a more
Hmm.
metabolic state to build muscle, lose weight, feel better, have more energy, be hormonally optimized.
Hmm.
And optimization of your health will always include some sort of the pharmacological intervention. Always, always.
Yeah, absolutely. I think this was just like the first almost like revolution that really challenged like, okay, it's not just supplementation. It's way more useful than supplementation, and we're seeing that. Or, with people that had trouble losing weight, it's way more effective than, some of these people were exercising, were doing pretty well with their nutrition. They were sleeping, they were managing their stress, but they couldn't lose weight.
Yeah.
And so we're seeing that now too. And I think, well, part of it is, we've had conversations with people, and that's allowed us to open up our mindset on how this can be effective and who it's really used for versus, some people don't really need a weight loss drug. But yeah, I think we'll just continue to see it
Mhm.
more and
I,
more.
there's 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 a trend in our industry that's always been there that says something about this process has to be painful and miserable, right? Um, CrossFit used to have, this is before you did it, but a long time ago, CrossFit had this little mascot that was Pukey the Clown, for real. And it was this thing that we got behind of like CrossFit's so miserable. We now have a mascot that's like Pukey the Clown. And like that somewhere along the line, weight loss and health and wellness, you got to embrace the misery. It's got to suck. I always hated that side of our industry. I hated it. And I think a lot of the people that say that doing certain things, because here's the deal. If you're going to tell me that GLP is cheating, then you're going to tell me that hormone replacement for a 45-year-old man is cheating. And it's not cheating, right? It's not cheating. It's optimization.
Sure.
But I think there are people in the industry that have been in the industry, have been successful in the industry, they've been in shape their whole life, they're lean, they're strong. They go, well, that person's cheating. Well, because you made it miserable for you and you embrace this suck mentality that I hate.
Hmm.
I've
Hmm.
never been, listen, even in my days of powerlifting, and I have pretty significant numbers that I hit when I was younger and really strong. I always hated the side of the industry that was like, got all juiced up, played really loud crank music. Listen, we have an influencer that I can't stand because he's so fake and it's so charlatan and it's so much theater. It makes me vomit. But at the same time, he puts out like content around like supplements that I'm like, man, that's really good stuff. It's really awesome research. But then he posts like the douchiest thing about how he's like fueled by rage and like smacking himself when he lifts and but if you got to put on social media you're fueled by rage, you're probably more fueled by fear and insecurity than anything. But
Yeah.
the whole industry of people that like go to squat and all of a sudden they're smacking each other. I couldn't I can't stand. I hate it. I mean, that's so like forward. Like,
Yeah.
come on, dude. Like, so there's this part of our industry that makes it think that things have to suck. Those are the same people I think that are like, if someone wants to lose 100 pounds, they need to embrace the suck and do what I did and make it miserable. Well, why?
Hmm.
Why?
And I partially agree with some of that. Like I'm much more into like the old meathead like way of lifting. I don't know. I don't get the magic of like the light and airy. It doesn't fuel me very much. So I kind of understand that. But most people are not in a place where it's like they don't want it to be super tough. They don't want it to have to change their entire life. A lot of people aren't wired that way.
Mhm.
So I
I mean,
understand
I can
that as
honestly,
well.
I could lift and train just as intense with just as much purpose with zero music. All right.
Sorry, I'm being distracting.
Yeah, I can tell. Um, I can lift just as intense with just as much purpose,
Yeah.
literally with zero music in a room with nobody. And I don't, just not me.
Hmm.
It's just not me.
Yeah.
But I think those people have projected on the person who's 100 pounds overweight, need to lose weight. They're
Hmm.
super unhealthy, inflammation, high cholesterol, high blood pressure, everything's going bad. They got a really bad relationship with food. They eat their feelings and they just can't turn off, a very popular thing is people saying food noise. That's just a fancy way of saying that you rely on food emotionally. right? And it's a
Hmm.
big part of
Hmm.
your life.
Hmm.
And that is not my problem with the whole weight loss part of this and the weight loss medication and the GLP part of this. My issue is I do not trust the pay to play process that doctors are basically just going to give this to anybody that
Right.
walks into their room at any time. I call them the area code moms, the moms that live in the really high end area code. Most of these clinics and most of these doctors and most of these like weight loss clinics are inside the area codes of high affluent, high rich moms who, right, like they're all drunk by two. They're, you know what I'm saying? The mom
And I mean, they're not, yeah, they're not the only company or industry that has put themselves in the middle of the population that will benefit the most, right?
yeah.
That tends to be where people go. Like, if I'm going to open a gym where I want to make a significant amount of money, well, I'm not going to put it in an area code that can't afford it,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. Well, that just shows and that is my problem is that, I've always said the baseball steroid scandal and the abusers of steroids are the ones that ruined healthy TRT for many men for years.
Hmm.
The mom that wants to lose 10 pounds because she's going to go on a vacation with her teenage daughter's friends to the Bahamas and doesn't want to look overweight and wants to look emaciated and gets on a GLP-1 and completely destroys her stomach and her body. And all of a sudden there's horrible stories about it. Well, no wonder,
Hmm.
right?
Right.
It's, you know, Mercedes from the wealthy area that's her and all her friends are on it. Because let's be honest, when one woman gets on it around the swimming pool, and
Everybody's on it.
everybody's going to get on it. And
Hmm.
it's pay to play. Let's be honest. It is
Hmm.
100% pay to play. I've seen the wholesale costs of these drugs. And if you think there's markup, you've never seen markup like what you're seeing now. I'm talking the wholesale cost of 7.5 milligrams of a GLP drug that they're selling to moms for 350 bucks because you don't want to know the real cost of it,
Hmm.
right?
Hmm.
So the industry has basically made it so you have to be very wealthy to afford it. Insurance is starting to cut a lot of this off because of those people,
Hmm.
right? So the people that really need it, that I have seen benefit from it a lot, has changed lives.
Right.
It
Yeah.
really has changed lives,
I
right?
agree with you.
So
Yeah. And
that
like
is my take on it.
we've heard those stories of people that are like, wow, for the first time in my life, I didn't just think about food. Or for the first time in my life, I was able to get up off the couch and I actually felt productive. And that's the kind of stories where I'm like, there's some good, and that's what we want. And that's where I think we ultimately changed our tune a little bit, was like, okay, this is actually, for the people that need it the most, this is so beneficial. And this is what we want, because at the end of the day, like, our goal is for people to be the healthiest version of themselves,
It
right?
saved Erica's life.
Hmm. Hmm.
Now, she's a unicorn. I have a doctor friend of mine that I talk to. Actually, I go to work out, and this guy comes to work out, and started having conversations with him. And he deals in some of this stuff. And he's very conservative about it. He even said, I don't know a lot. I help people where I can with the peptides and the hormone replacement, but he's a general practitioner. He's very honest with his limitations of knowledge. And it's really been fun for me to have conversations with him. And I told him Erica's story that she lost over like 170 pounds. The first 6 months, she lost 60 to 80 pounds on a GLP.
Hmm.
Changed the way she eats, exercises, got off the GLP, and continued to lose another 100 pounds. And
Hmm.
he's like, man, that's a unicorn. That does not exist. He goes, in actuality, that might be the first story like that I've heard. So you just happen to run into that one person that it changed their life, that did it, quote unquote, the right way.
Right. Right. We don't see that a lot, which is unfortunate. And I think That's why we ultimately decided to create this series that we did of guides so that we can help people on the right track
Yeah.
and to stay on the right track. And, again, that's all we could ask for is like, hey, if you're going to get on this medication, do these things because eventually, like we always say with coaching, I want you to come off the medication. I want you to come off of coaching. I don't want you to need it forever. So if you can put these habits in place over time to maintain your progress and it really change your whole life, that's all we could ask for.
Yeah. Yes. I don't want it to be forever, but
Hmm.
the people who never learn how to change habits, change routines, go to the gym, exercise, high fiber, high protein, which is all in our guides. Our guides are
Hmm.
designed to educate you on lifestyle habit along with the pharmacological management.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, we want those to work hand in hand. I've
Hmm.
had people that say, well, I'm going to double my dosage of GLP because it's not working. Well, what are you doing? Well, nothing.
Yeah.
I can't
I
eat
think
delicious.
we want people to understand the importance like of pairing nutrition and exercise with your GLP-1 because without nutrition and exercise, you can dig yourself into a really deep hole that's going to be really hard to come out of.
You know what else gets me about this? I'm in a real honest mood this morning.
When are you not?
Yeah, I don't know. I'm trying to get help. There's a lady on social media that got on tirzepatide and she lost weight. And she's pumping out all of this content recommending everybody to get on tirzepatide.
Mhm.
And I'm like, lady, pump the brakes, dude. That's like the person that got on carnivore, lost 20 pounds, and now tells everybody in the world they need to get on carnivore,
Mhm.
right? Or, the person that fasted. So fasting has turned its ugly head with me recently, where I'm getting a lot of people talk to me about fasting. I'm like, oh my God, I thought that thing died. Like we're back. And because it worked for you and you're out there pumping all of this content, telling people, I'm glad you feel great and amazing. I'm very happy for you and your story is great. But to throw that blanket story over everybody is real negligent,
Mhm.
really negligent, really wrong. And then you've seen, of course, the MLM side of this, where people are coming out and pumping that they're selling these natural GLP-1 peptide natural things. And it's like, no, it's not, right? Well, it's like I've seen supplements come out and they're like, works just like TRT. No, it does not. No, it does not at all.
But that's like preying on people that don't know.
And this is what the
Because,
industry's done its whole time, its whole life, right?
right,
Prey
because
on
the
people's desperation.
masses, and that's what social media will continue to do in every single industry. Like, if something picks up speed as far as a trend, it's gonna get people, It's definitely gonna get people. And people are gonna continue to say, well, how can I make a dollar off of someone's vulnerability? I know they're probably not gonna put in extensive research on whatever this is. They're just gonna buy it because they saw a before and after that was a lie,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
you know?
No, my favorite before and after is that fat white dude, and then the after before and after is like this Jack Black guy. He's like,
I've
look,
never seen that before, but that's funny.
yeah, dude. I'm like, that's great, dude. That's great because listen, people are always attracted to that thing that makes it easier, quick fix, right?
Hmm.
And I can't tell you how many times I've had a client where we're struggling to get protein in, get a good breakfast, be consistent at the gym. Their sleep is horrible, the hydration sucks, their food quality is miserable, they're horrible at their check-ins, they disappear when they do bad, and I'll get a random emails like, dude, my buddy told me about methylene blue.
Yeah.
I'm all about it. I'm like, oh man, dude. I was like, you're the avatar of the American consumer,
Hmm.
right? You're the complete avatar of the American consumer. You can't even do the simplest thing, which is 30 grams of protein for breakfast, and all of a sudden you're all in on methylene blue.
And it just like actually blows my mind because protein is really not that fucking hard.
Well,
It's like actually not that fucking hard.
let me ask you this
I
though. Let me ask you this. Let's have some reflection time. When was what year was Chunky Gray? Give me Chunky Gray. We met in we
uh
didn't meet 2020.
yeah, so I like by the time I had got into significant weight loss, it was like 2019. So 2018, 2017, 2016. Yeah, because that was when I was in college.
Because for people that don't know, I basically stalked Gray at the gym and for like 3 months watched you like kind of shrink wrap. And you had a notebook and you're real nerdy
Mhm.
about your notebook. Like,
My little yellow notebook.
but you had a yellow notebook, but then a yellow outfit and everything was
Hmm.
yellow. It was like a
I love
Coldplay
yellow.
song.
Still love
It
yellow.
was basically a Coldplay song. You were the walking epitome of a Coldplay song.
Yeah.
And I saw you go from like shrink wrap, like little bit, little shrink, little shrink, little shrink, little shrink, and all of a sudden muscle, 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 muscle. And you preserve. And I asked a buddy of mine, I was like, who's that? Like, she's making change. Like, oh, she would trains at the other place, and we met and whatever happened. I don't know. But then so 2019 was Chunky Gray.
2018 was like the last of my chunk. I mean in 2019 I had like lost the weight, but I would say I started putting on more significant muscle mass in 2019
Okay.
because I started taking my nutrition seriously in
Yeah.
2019.
If 2018 somebody came to you and was like, take this.
Oh, I did. I did. That one supplement that started with a G from like fucking Walmart that was like a fat loss pill. Oh, I took them. I
Yeah.
took them. Yeah.
Yeah.
But and that's I'm not saying I didn't fall for any of that stuff. I still fall for some of that stuff when it comes to skincare because I'm constantly working on my skin.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
telling you.
Yeah.
But I will say like back to my original statement, getting 100 grams of protein is not that fucking hard.
Hmm.
And I posted a video recently on it. 4 items a day that can get you to 100 grams of protein. Like it's just not hard. So when people tell me it's so hard to get protein in, I'm like, it's not. It's literally not hard. You just don't want to eat it. You don't want to do it.
And I will work with people on strategy and show them it's not hard.
Totally,
Um,
100%. But I'm going to be straight up with you and respond to you and say it's really not hard.
yeah.
So how can we get you there? If this doesn't work, how about this? I had a client who was under eating and she's been working with me for a few months now and she's lost 10 pounds, but she's mostly, I wouldn't say mostly vegetarian. She does like one meat a day typically, kind of gotten her to almost two meats a day, but she at first was eating like 60 grams of protein and we've got her consistently to 115 to 130 grams. If she can do it not eating a ton of meat, you can do it.
I have two clients right now, male clients that came to me. I'm gonna say one is early 40s, one is mid 30s that did before pictures. We got they got blood work done. I've made it very easy for people to get blood work done because of my basically a place you go, do it yourself. You don't need to go to your doctor, get it done, get your
Yeah.
results. We look at your blood work, we make change. You don't need your doctor. I do not need your doctor, right? Go to this place, get your blood work taken, get the results, send it to me. We make change. Not hard.
Hmm.
And both of them had some lower testosterone, under eating, changed their program. One of them, I'm up 900 calories a day, 21 to 3,000 calories a day. The before and after is sick, sick before and after.
Hmm.
Um,
Hmm.
the other one did the same thing, increased fat intake. His fat intake was like 10% of his diet because he thought if he ate fat, got fatter.
Oh yeah.
Cranked his calories up 30. Dude, now he's trying to do 3,300 calories a day, and he was at 18, 19 at one point. He's like, I feel incredible. This is incredible. I'm stronger in the gym. I
Hmm.
feel like I'm even less stressed out. I'm eating. My weightlifting is doing great. And I'm just like, dude. And the before and afters is like night and day, like almost like someone inflated, right?
That's why
Because
I posted that video yesterday that this is 10% exercise and 90% nutrition. And that applies to everyone, every single person on the face of the planet. Like you can train all you want. And if your nutrition does not partner with your exercise and take higher priority than your exercise because you eat more times per day than you exercise per times per day, you will not see change.
Have we talked about the football kid I wrote a program for this summer, like a 10-week program?
So
Two
what is that the guy that you
256
sent me the videos of?
256 to 276.
Oh
No,
no,
that's a different
no.
kid. That is one of my
Yeah,
clients.
that's a
The kid
basketball player
squatting
though.
500.
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
dude, he is one of the ones I was just telling you about.
Yeah.
Back
But
squatted 500, and you're like, oh my gosh.
yeah, you did tell
Um,
me about the kid that gained a bunch of weight
256
or
to
a soul.
276, forty four
Yeah.
hundred calories a day, 20 pounds in 8 weeks.
Yeah.
40. And I was like, hey man, tell me what was the one thing for my future. What did he goes, I worked twice as hard in the kitchen as I did in the weight room. The weight room was the fun part. He lifted 5 days a week, an hour and a half each time for 8 weeks. Killed the program. Lifting was not hard, 4,400 calories a day. And he was going
Hmm.
out to play college football. And I'm like, and he's like, dude, they're going to be so excited for me because he had a redshirt
Yeah.
year. He goes, they told me to gain weight and I never could figure it out. 256 to 276 at D line, 4,400
Hmm.
calories a day, monster.
Yeah. Yeah. But and, like at least in my personal coaching, I am seeing more people come to me that have an exercise routine. And I think now, like like your generation and coming into my generation, it's working out is cool. Like most people do it, or I wouldn't say most people, but like most people around me do it. Most people that come to me and want nutrition help already do it. And so that's why I'm like, a lot of us don't have an exercise problem. The exercise part is fun for us. We're just not seeing the results that we want. So it's like, this feels heavier. I haven't been able to progress inside of my exercise or whatever. Like, I'm just not making any progress. I'm just kind of staying the same.
Mhm.
Increasing your calories or finding the right amount of protein or decreasing your like that's what needs to happen. That's what has to take precedence over if that's the top of your priority. Because again, like you exercise for maybe an hour every day, but you're eating multiple times per day.
Back to the peptide side. What is the typical person you're seeing that you're doing coaching with right now that is on a GLP-1? Do you have that typical kind of person that comes to you that is on a GLP-1 that wants to improve their habits? Who typically is that person?
Typically always a female, but I work with mostly females, so that would make the most sense. And it's still the same age demographic. I mean, I'd say it's still between 40 and 60. And it's women who they honestly have no clue how to eat. And I say this every time we start talking about this demographic of women is everything's bad for me. Like you said with your previous client, I don't eat much fat because I think fat makes me gain weight. I don't eat a lot of carbs because carbs are going to make me gain weight. I don't eat protein because I don't know how to eat protein. I don't even know what protein is. You know, that is where it's so confusing sometimes how lost people are on their nutrition.
Do you think that's like paralysis by analysis, or just kind of like there's so much information on the internet that like people don't even know where to start? And
That and
let's
like,
be honest, the GLP side of it makes it harder because there is a great suppression of appetite. There is some nausea
yeah,
that can come with it.
yeah.
There is almost some food aversion. A really good friend of mine had everything right. And I wish I could talk her
Hmm.
coming on our podcast, but I don't think she will. Um, she literally came to me and she goes, I want to share with you some things, but you better not tell anybody. And she told me her story and it was amazing. So go ahead,
Hmm.
give me your typical person.
But that's it. But that's what we're saying. Like with the nutrition side of things, I think it could be paralysis by analysis. I also think like remember we had Liv on forever ago that I worked with at Spenga just talking about the early magazines. The magazines that would give you these diet plans and it's like or like the Vogue one from the 70s, it's like a cigarette at breakfast and a glass of wine and a boiled egg. And then at lunch, it's like four crackers and another glass of wine. Like it's just all of these different things that women have been fed for decades that they're trying to unlearn. And for so long after that, it was eat less, move more, eat less, move more, eat less, move more. So then you have women that work out 5 and 6 days per week, and they're probably not strength training to the capacity that they should. And they're like, well, why am I not seeing results? My body's on overload. I'm working out 5 or 6 days per week and I'm eating 1,200 calories, right? And then you pair a GLP-1 on top of that with even more appetite suppression. And they're maybe eating 50 grams of protein, 60 grams of protein, a shit ton of carbs. It's mostly carbohydrates and a healthy fat here and there.
Yeah, there's a food aversion side to it, is what my friend told me.
Yeah,
That you know, she was lifting, the family was very active. They were working out as a family.
love
Her
that.
and her kids were going to the gym. She was going with her husband, and she was the Division 1 athlete.
Hmm.
And um, I knew she was doing something to try to improve her nutrition. I never talked about it because sometimes when people come to talk to me about, they think I'm going to be like judgy or like I'm I'm supportive of everybody I know that are friends of mine that are trying to get healthy.
Hmm.
I'm not going to coach you. I'm going to support you. I'm going to be excited for you.
Right.
And she's like, one day she came to me and she goes, I want to show you my blood work and I want to tell you what I'm doing. I'm going to show you how much I weighed. If you say this, tell this to anybody, I will cut you open and let you bleed. Right? And I go, yeah, okay. And she's like, well, you might judge me because I took tears up at times. Like, why would I do that? Like, why would I? I'm like, and I told my friend, I was like, you're my friend. I've known you for 20 years. Like, why would I do that? I know your children. And she showed me her before and after blood work and what it did and her weight loss and like her high cholesterol. She was borderline high blood sugar. They're worried about her diabetes. All these things were wrong. Inflammation was going crazy, perimenopausal, all kinds of things going on. And she started on the lowest dose of tirzepatide and never even got really high. But she said the reason she went up and then she titrated back down was she started to have food aversion, like almost like didn't even like the way food felt in her mouth. And she goes,
Hmm.
I knew that was bad for me. I knew I needed to eat, so I titrated down. I took the process slower. It took me, I think 6, 7 months to get it off, and I think it was like 30 pounds in 7, 8 months, which is pound a week, a little over a pound a week, pound a week.
Hmm.
And I said, "Can I tell you where And I had a conversation with her. I said, "Can I tell you where I think I'm most excited for you? You started by working out, then you changed
Hmm.
your nutrition, then you created a habit. It started in your family. Then you got your blood work done. Then you got on those. You had all of those done first."
Hmm.
And then when you started a GLP-1, you didn't have to start the GLP-1 and then change all of these habits that are really hard to do.
Hmm.
And because of that, you had a positive experience on it. And like she walks happier, she moves happier. I'm all for it. I'm excited for that for her. But
Absolutely.
how many of her friends do you think she told what she's doing? Did none of that before? We're drinking 2 glasses of wine. The area code mom's drunk by two. A good solid Xanax by midnight, right? Um, didn't know how to do any of that, and then they're going to their doctor looking for tirzepatide,
Hmm.
and they're getting themselves in
Yep.
trouble, and they're
Hmm.
burning muscle, and their stomachs.
Burning. Yeah.
They're going to be they're going to be just as fat, but just a smaller version of just as fat.
Hmm.
And that is my concern and my withdrawal to people. It's not that I don't want people to get help. It's I don't trust your doctor.
There's no open conversation. I won't say no because I do know some doctors are taking a lot of responsibility for educating on nutrition and exercise when partnering it with the GLP-1. But I would say for most of the people that I've heard from about it, there is no conversation or there's very limited conversation about what nutrition and exercise should look like on a GLP-1. And again, I think that's why we created these guides is we want to partner that with whatever your doctor has told you or not told you. Here's a full breakdown of where to go next, because I think that's incredibly important with taking a GLP-1. And again, like coming off of a GLP-1 or before starting a GLP-1, like all of these things need to happen regardless. You should be exercising, you should be taking care of your nutrition, your sleep, your stress, regardless of if you do it or don't do it on a GLP-1.
Yeah, I think these guides we're doing They're like quick start guides, beginner guides, guides to exercise, guides to just healthy nutrition, how to manage your stomach if you're nauseous, healthy
Hmm.
digestive foods, simple foods, bland foods. I'm trying to shorten the learning curve for somebody who is on it that doesn't really know what to do
Hmm.
once they get on it. Because ultimately you better know how to preserve muscle, how to eat healthy, and how to live a healthy lifestyle and have, listen, it, does it? I don't know. Does it give you people the discipline to go to the gym? Like, I don't see how that helps you.
What does the guide give you discipline?
No, like getting on a weight loss drug, you don't automatically find an hour in your day to go exercise.
No, but I think that some people have reported that like it makes them feel better. It makes them feel like they can accomplish more. So like somebody for like Erica, for example, like when the food noise was quieted, I think she found a bit more room in her brain for exercise. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Tamaya
Like when
said,
you're able,
yeah, that makes sense. Tamaya said something to me yesterday, and she said, talked about pairing exercise and healthy nutrition.
hmm
She goes, I pair them hand in hand. Eating well makes me want to stay active, and being active makes me want to eat well. So when
hmm
one is down, I feel like everything is down.
It's so true though. And I so many of my clients tell me the same thing, and I agree with that. If I work out that day, I'm less likely to eat like shit because and it's not that, oh, it automatically cancels out my workout, but it's my brain thinks better. Have a clear head when it comes to decision making. And I know that if I eat like shit, the next day I'm going to feel like shit. So my workout's going to feel like shit. The
Cool. There
same
are
thing
still those
is,
people that say, "Oh, I worked out today. I can get that little snack from McDonald's."
yeah, and I did that last night. Don't let me even get it twisted. We ate Mexican food last night. We were both starving, had nothing in the house. So like it happens. But 95% of the time, I eat well because I want my workouts to feel good, you know? And vice versa too. If I don't get my workout in, I feel more inclined to be like, well, food can just like go wherever it needs to go, you know? It's such a mental thing. They do go hand in hand, just like sleep and decision making go hand in hand. If I get a shitty night's sleep, I'm up drinking more caffeine than I should. My appetite's going to be off because I've had too much caffeine. I'm more likely to grab something quick versus something that I need. It all goes hand in hand. And I totally agree with Tamaya. When one of them is off, it makes everything else off. And I apply that into really like five different pillars with clients. So I have the exercise piece, the nutrition piece, the sleep piece, the stress resilience piece, and the social life piece. Because I think too much of an imbalance in any one of those can result in an imbalance in the rest of them.
We've talked about this. The social side has been the hardest one for me because I've never, I hate working out with people.
But your social life is different. Like you are around people a lot, like with your job. You guys have games that you go to frequently. Like that's different, you know? So
I
your
do see that about
hobby and your
jujitsu though. I
yeah,
used to
and
think it was
that's your
jujitsu.
social.
Yeah, and it's not
Hmm.
necessarily jujitsu that pulls me in, it's the jujitsu people that
Hmm.
pull me in. So I have been like, oh, when I miss jujitsu, is it that I miss rolling around with sweaty people tying me in a knot? No. I miss I miss people, the people.
People. So
Yeah.
that's like your social life is just different. Like your social life very heavily revolves around activity that you do.
Mhm.
And that's
I've also
fine.
never been, I've never, and this is a personality thing. Have you ever done a personality test? You really should.
Hmm. No, I have.
Um, I've done multiple personality tests. I've done IQ testing, things like that.
Hmm.
And you know, I don't know if the Myers-Briggs is legit. I used to, one of our clients is a PhD in psychology
Hmm.
and works in human behavior in the law enforcement space. And she also used to, this is crazy. She would develop the testing. She worked with multiple reality TV shows that we know to help choose the people to come on the show, and it would do personality tests for two reasons. One, to make sure they're not bringing a crazy person on.
Mm-hmm.
Three, to make sure that they had a good mix of personalities within that reality TV show to make good TV.
Mm-hmm.
They knew the
Yeah.
personalities that were going to conflict, work together, and all that. So she did that testing. And I asked her, is the Myers-Briggs legit? She's like, yeah, it depends on like what it's for and what you're doing, but like overall, general, like you can do that and be honest.
Mm-hmm.
And my personality is very uh introverted,
Mm-hmm.
very intuition,
Mm-hmm.
very judgmental.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not afraid of that. It doesn't bother me. But I do feel great. I used to, when I worked out at a public gym, now I don't. I worked out at Jason's gym in the middle of the day where it's mostly me and maybe one or two people coming in and out. It's the most beautiful serene touch screen. I even told him, I was like, I'm so happy I have your place.
Yeah.
I used to go to public gym and work out with no music but headphones in my ear
Mm-hmm.
because I have a great way of disappearing in public.
Yeah. No, you do. Head down.
So, so we got off subject, but anyway,
That's
um,
okay.
the social side of it for me has never really been something. I can sit in a room of 20 people that are all eating and drinking and bringing things in, and I can get chicken, rice, and a salad and a water and be completely fine.
Yeah, and I think there's multiple things that go into the social life part of it. Like I'm very encouraging of my clients to enjoy that dinner out, to go on that vacation. Personal growth is a huge thing I talk about with my clients and like putting yourself in uncomfortable situations of like going to a coffee shop or a dinner by yourself or taking that vacation that makes you a little bit like, I don't really know how I'm going to do on this vacation. Um, I think that's very important because I think it makes you very resilient. That's kind of what I think about with the social aspect, not necessarily like, hey, go to a rager and day drink all day.
Yeah.
But like finding hobbies essentially and like enjoying life's moments is what I talk about with the social aspect with them.
Mhm. It was the hardest one for me to embrace and see the value there
Hmm.
of the community because it's not that important to me.
I think it's more important than you think.
Probably. Yeah, I'd
But
agree.
like but the communities that you enjoy, right? Like I'm, to be honest, I'm not going to go to a Pilates class and stick in that community. That's not really the community I see myself in. But you give me like the gym that I'm working at now, that space is a gym I enjoy being in. You know, I enjoy the people, I enjoy the workouts. I think it's a lot of fun. But that's like your personal community when it comes to your jujitsu. You
Yeah.
know, you probably wouldn't turn around and go to a pottery making class and enjoy it.
Yeah, but at the same time, if those jujitsu people at the end of the jujitsu were like, "Hey, we're all gonna go get something to eat," I'd be like, "I'm good."
Yeah, which is fine, but you're there to like get your shit done, and I understand
Yeah,
that.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. Um, I'll be honest, I was apprehensive about having the discussion around the GLP drugs because it's so much white noise.
Hmm.
I felt it very important to be open about you can support something without open the floodgates for everybody.
Right.
You can also, because I've had multiple people be like, "Hey, what do you think about me? I think about getting on this." Well, I need to know your situation, and I can give you my advice.
I
But
think the most important thing that we can maintain for our business and our podcast and everything is that like we're very much in the gray. Like I'm unbiased. I think that I will talk you exactly like what's your story? I will talk you through it. And that's why like I did want to talk about it with our guides coming out. It's like I know my scope and my role, and my scope and my role is to help you with your nutrition and your exercise and give you pointers of what potentials could be while on a GLP-1.
mhm. Yeah, and I
That's
think
it.
that we've worked with enough people now to understand. It's always been like I said. I am skeptical of that information. We always know. Have you ever watched did you watch Elon Musk like probably 2 years ago? He had a conversation with Joe Rogan. They started talking about AI.
I think I saw clips from it, but I don't think I listened to the whole, I definitely didn't listen to the whole
And
thing.
then when he mentioned AI, Elon got really quiet and very serious, and I was almost just like, "Oh, this is eerie, bro." Like, uh-oh. Like here comes some Terminator 2 stuff coming out.
Hmm.
And he said, "It is human nature that even when we design and create things for good, it is human nature that eventually it will be used for bad.
Hmm.
And that while AI can be phenomenal for people, human nature, it will come into a way to find out a way to have power with war." I feel similar to that about GLP ones. When they were produced and there was amazing people out there that can have great benefit from it, when the business of weight loss gets a hold of it, it's going to turn into something bad.
Hmm.
And I think it's turned into something that for a lot of people has been bad for them.
Hmm.
Mike said that in his experience, and again, this is just his experience. I think he said only 30% of the people that he has seen get on it have the proper environment to actually see positive, beneficial success for themselves. So 7 out of 10 people, it's probably not great for. They're
Hmm.
not ready, or they don't have the mindset, or they don't have the habits down. He goes, 30% of the people that I know can handle it.
Hmm.
And it's been a great experience for them. Boy, that's not high. Three out of
No,
10.
that's really low.
That,
That's really low.
that makes me cautious. So, um, I know you have to go, correct?
Yeah, in a few minutes.
Okay. But that is pretty, that when Mike said that, that just it made me realize, but man, there's weight loss clinics, rejuvenation clinics, doctors, people out there. Like I said, that girl on social media is pumping tears up at Tide like it's I mean, she's she's gonna hurt somebody. Is what she
Yeah. Well, that's again, that's the issue. That's where we found the need for at least the research-based stuff that we know that will help someone. You can download the guides when they come out, and it's up to you if you want to use them and put it to
and
work.
I'll preface this too. Saying, hey, these are my results and I don't recommend this for everybody at the beginning of your post doesn't negate you from responsibility.
Oh, totally. Totally.
You see
Because
people,
you're being public about it.
these are my results, and uh this is not for everybody, but this is how amazing it is and everybody should be on it. No, idiot. It's not how it works, right? I can't stand
Right. I know.
to put people, I think TRT is great, but man, there's a lot of people that shouldn't be on it, and you should do a lot
Hmm.
of things first.
Hmm.
Especially dudes, you should do a lot of other things first before you jump, and it should be the minimum effective dose.
That's how it should always be. Like, I think the checkup with your doctor should be, have you been exercising, eating enough protein, and feeding yourself
Let's
for
take a
X
few
amount of
months of changing
months?
some habits that help you promote your natural testosterone. But then again, on that side, Gray, I've had friends of mine that go to the doctor. I talk them through their blood work, what questions to ask their doctor, how to go about it, how to get the prescription, and what the doctor tells them and prescribes them and how they tell them to take it is completely wrong.
Hmm.
Way off. I'm sorry, taking 100 milligrams of testosterone every 20 days when that half-life is going to have you crashing, your doctor sucks. That's wrong. Don't do that.
Right.
And they're like, well, it's my doctor. I said, I'm smarter than your doctor.
Yep.
I'm sorry, but your doctor's wrong. And you can do what you want to do.
Hmm.
But as my friend, because I've had this conversation with friends, they're not even clients, people that tell me, like, talk to me. You're my friend. This is how you should do it. They're wrong.
Hmm.
It's going to mess you up. They're wrong.
Yeah. Yeah. So if we can keep just talking about this and sharing what we know to be true, like obviously it's not going to do any harm. And if people can keep listening, then we know we're doing the right thing.
All right, girl. We'll talk to you soon.
Bye.